announced Open Collaboration 2.0 that promises reliable and seamless charging infrastructure in the country, seamless transactions via RFID, 24/7 call assistance to plan trips better, and installation of 500 120 kilowatt fast chargers across Mumbai, Delhi, Bengaluru, Pune. To dive deeper into Open Collaboration 2.0, we have with us Balaje Rajan, the Chief Strategy Officer of Tata Passenger Electric Mobility. Let's listen in. Thank you so much for joining us on CNBC-TV18 as well as Overdrive. As per a recent industry study, the charger to EV deficit in India today is one charger per 135 EVs, which is quite surprising. How can manufacturers help reduce this gap, and what is Tata's strategy for adding more charging stations in India by 2013? I do realize Open Collaboration 2.0 is part of that strategy.
When it comes to public charging, India has about 18,000 public chargers currently. This is spread out across the country. The irony is that while there is significant public charging around the country, public charging is not a very regular or frequent use case for an EV owner. So there is a limited viability for public charging as of today. What Tata Motors has done through Open Collaboration is direct the installation of public chargers to the right hotspots so that the utilization is improved, because EV owners would also want to stop at these locations to charge, and that has created greater viability for public charging. And Open Collaboration 2.0 brings all stakeholders in the charging ecosystem together, and we will collectively address multiple pain points that customers face, and also address the viability for charge point operators, so that this can be a self-sustaining and growing ecosystem that can support EV adoption.
I like Tata EV's idea of verifying chargers for reliability, but there's another issue we face. We often find public chargers occupied by commercial taxis. How can your app or the service help us avoid this and make trip planning much smoother?
The IRA.EV app, which is our connected car application, it has a charge point aggregator app embedded within it. It enables one to identify where the chargers are, as well as whether the chargers are in use or not. This will enable users to figure out which charger are in and around them is currently available and not occupied. So this is one key initiative through which we will be able to address this issue. The second one is we are creating the Tata.EV mega chargers. Now, these chargers will have capacity of 120 kilowatt and up to 4 guns. So which basically means that 4 cars can charge at any given time. So this will also enable EV owners to be able to find a spare charging gun as well as a parking spot to be able to charge without having to worry about being stuck in line.
Right. You actually mentioned about the mega chargers. How many of these will be solely 120 kilowatt fast chargers, and how many of them will be 60 kilowatt split into 2?
At the moment, our preference is to have 120 kilowatt chargers with 4 guns. Some locations may have constraints that may require us to split it, but our endeavor would be to maximize the number of 120 kilowatt chargers, and also in some cases go beyond 120 kilowatts and have even larger formats as well, if the location permits it.
So what is the timeline of setting up these 500 chargers?
The first phase is when we said we will do 500, and the first phase for us is the next 12 months.
Okay.
And we don't have to wait 12 months to see the first of these. We will see these very, very shortly.
What can you do as a car maker now that you have your own seamless payment app to bring down cost of public charging?
As a part of the Tata.EV mega chargers, we will have discounts for our customers up to 25%, which will direct more customers to these locations, which will improve the utilization, which should also ultimately result in an improvement in utilization and ROI, which results in a lower tariff. This is our broad thinking around this, but as things evolve over time, I do believe that driven by lower capex costs as well as renewable energy tie-ups, the cost of public charging will come down anyway.
Well, moving towards seamless transactions, how will the RFID work?
Sure, we're in the process of still trialing it and piloting it. The RFID card sits on top of our unified wallet. So essentially it's another way of accessing the unified wallet. We are working with CPOs to enable adoption of the unified wallet, and when they do that, along with the RFID card, if they have an RFID device in the charger, It should just be a token that replicates the transaction that's anyway done over a mobile phone. So it'll be really seamless.
Okay, and that would take around a month's time, right, to come into play?
Yes, with select CPOs, we are intending to showcase the RFID the card in about a month's time.
Okay.
But we would probably need a little bit more time to onboard even more CPOs to make it truly seamless across the charging ecosystem.
Right. Thank you so much for this insightful interview and your time as well. Thank you. Well, with that, it's a wrap on this week's edition of Overdrive. But remember, you can stay in touch with the team through our various social media platforms, and you can write to us on YouTube. We'll see you next week. Until then, drive and ride safe.